Hi all. So in this video we will be going through a finance based case study. It is regarding a bank failure. This was conducted by the Economic Society of Sri Venkateswara College, Delhi University. Okay, so first of all, so many students who approach me asking doubts on case prompts, case study competitions say that they are not having the confidence to participate because they think that case studies are only for this intellectual like humans. I mean, there is nothing like that. When I started participating in case studies, it was from the first year of my bachelor's degree in Delhi University. So at that time, I didn't have much clues on what a case study is, how to solve, how to create a good PPT. I had nothing. I was completely clueless on all these concepts and all. So with each case study, I studied from my other what to say other participants. Presentation and all I studied, like, yeah, I need to improve this much. I started asking feedbacks to all my other participants of the particular competition and the judges there. I ask feedbacks to all. I improved in that way only. I had no one to guide. Even my, what to say, in my college, the societies were not that uh, active. The teachers, TICs were not interested in, what to say, like this IFSA bootcamp and all. They were not interested in any of these things. So I had no one to guide me. I only had ChatGPT and Google to have a look on that, but don't blindly believe that also. Refer books, that's better. So like that only we'll mold up ourselves. I mean, we can mold ourselves. So, so there is no need of thinking that you are not an intellectual. I can't participate in case studies. Nothing like that. Participate, practice. Then you improve. Fail also. I have failed in many case competitions. I I have literally, what to say, fumbled when I presented my solutions in front of the judges. So from that all I have learned a lot and I grew in that way only. Okay, so that's a small story of mine. And yeah, today, yeah, it's a bank failure case prompt. We can start with the case study. So bank failures are a very recurrent phenomenon nowadays. Why a bank fails is either subject to the bank having insufficient assets or liquid funds to meet its obligations, or depositors' demands in the regular course of business, or the bank being in an unreliable condition as determined by the bank's commanding authority. Nowadays, in the newspapers too, we can see such incidents, right? Banking crisis can be very damaging. They tend to lead affected economies into deep recessions and sharp current account reversals. Some crisis turns out to be contagious. The Paradise Bank, a renowned bank, risked to suffer a similar banking crisis. The bank began its operations from 2001 with focused lending towards the healthcare industry. Okay. The industry was booming, especially during the pandemic, and the bank benefited hugely. Between 2020 and 2022, its assets increased three times, from $65 billion to $195 billion. Thus, it decided to invest them, but there was mismanagement of assets by the bank. The bank invested that money at low rates, around 4.5% annually, into assets like government bonds. However, as the government began increasing the interest rates in an effort to curb inflation, the bank decided to sell its portfolio at a loss in order to reinvest that capital into higher yielding assets. Higher yielding assets. Okay. Reinvest, okay. But these far-reaching measures led to concerns and panic among investors, and the annual report of the bank further strengthened their belief that the bank will not be able to sustain. Since the start of the crisis, the total assets have fallen down to $130.6 billion, and the total deposits have reduced to $85.3 billion as against $93.9 billion. There is an impending crisis of bank run and collapse in the air. Considering the impact on the economy, the high inflation and surging interest rates raise the cost of borrowing and curtail consumer spending. With the growing bank failures, banks often use underwriting standards to decide whom to lend money to. But if they start to worry about the risk involved and make it more difficult for people and businesses to borrow money, recession would not be a far-fetched reality. So the problem statement. Say you are the chief risk officer of Paradise Bank. What will be the short-term and long-term strategies to make sure the risk is mitigated and the bank revives its position? They have specified that they need short-term as well as long-term strategies, okay, for the mitigation. Also mention the various stakeholders that will be most affected by the bank's failures. One of the foremost reasons why a banking crisis occurs is due to the over or under appropriation of funds and mismanagement of credit. Establish a monetary framework so that such a situation does not occur again. The actions taken by the bank could be pivotal in the near future as well as in the long term. Say you are the chief economist of Paradise Bank. Suggest actions in the bank can take to ensure a spillover effect does not occur in the healthcare industry. Would you advise the bank to stick with the healthcare industry or diversify its portfolio? In conclusion, with the assets and deposits falling and the industry heading towards an impending crisis, Paradise Bank needs to make sure it micromanages each problem while also looking at the bigger picture. But ideation and execution are totally different ball games, and if the bank can survive remains to be seen. The survival of the bank now depends on the actions it takes, keeping in mind the following assumptions. So, assuming that the interest rates shall remain unchanged for a while now, the bank has time to devise strategies. In the event of a bank failure, the central bank also maintains a fund to reimburse every depositor with a minimum cap of $1 lakh, monitoring the bank for a while and also keeping in mind the factors that led to previous bank crises. And central government has created the Depositors Confidence Funding Program. This program will be used to cover the depositors, many of whom were uninsured due to $1 lakh cap on guaranteed deposits. Okay. The program aims to secure the deposits of the investors while re-establishing their trust in the banking system to prevent any spillover effect. So that's it. So this is a case prompt where you need to think and provide with some mathematical, results and outcomes. So practice makes a man perfect. So that's it for today. Let's meet in the next video. Bye.